too much. Unless we see someone escaping on like what 20, 30 HP from an Echo gank, then maybe we can look at that being the Electrocute over Dark Harvest argument. But I don't think that's really going to happen. But otherwise, I think everything looks relatively normal. Everyone's remembered to buy items this game. Cough, cough, Mark. Cough, cough.
Slight call out.
Oh, well, if you're going to do something brain dead, I'm going to pull you up on it, you know?
Yeah.
But everything else otherwise looks normal. Summoner spells all look fine. Double Ignite in mid lane is going to make this interesting. Double
Fancy did the nice thing where you put a ward down, recall, and get the red anti-ward thing.
Getting Sweeper up is very nice and make it easy for him to look for an early gank. We have Malphite fake leashing top, stood in the corridor there by Try. He's probably going to sit there till about now and walk into lane.
Should be still super easy to catch out because you see that he hasn't used any mana.
Yeah, but neither of the bot lane. Lucian and Yuumi both still also full HP. So it doesn't confirm anything, but it just adds that little question of doubt.
Yeah, that little doubt. Yeah.
And that can be just as important as actually getting the information on the other side. But I think it's a relatively even start, and I think we might. I don't even know if we're going to see a slow early game of farming like we did last game. I think we'll see. I think we'll see some action with the Hecarim. Hecarim and Echo both not as reliant on level 6. Echo
especially the Hecarim.
I would say Hecarim's more reliant on his level 6 than Echo. The Onslaught of Shadows from Hecarim is such a big gap closer with the CC as well that it provides is kind of broken, honestly. It's kind of an insane ability. And it'll be interesting to see how Fanxy utilizes that going forward. We see CS leads starting to develop mid and top in the favor of Allegiant here. Bonobo looking for an early gank as well here onto Skanksky. Skanksky or Skanksky? I can't.
Fuck it, whatever. The mouth.
We'll go Skanksy.
Yeah, okay. But he sniffed it out.
We see the stun. The stun.
The scum. The scum that is the Echo and Renekton trying something.
Dude, there's too many S's. It's really messing with my head.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. But the top lane gank fails. We see Yeznan looking to maybe pressure Gucci main out here, threatening the charm with the Glacial. Bot lane shoving in, as expected. I'd say Lucian Yuumi is definitely a stronger lane early than Ash Morgana. Although if Ash Morgana can land their CC like they have done now, this could be a really good trade in bot lane. But as we see MDib chunked out quite heavily already.
Oh, this gank should never work. Yeah,
forcing him out at least, getting a decent chunk with the Z-Drive Resonance. Hecarim coming in here with the charge.
Yeah. Hecarim's having a decent CS lead. If he invades here, the chickens, that's huge.
Yeah, but
he can't do it because they don't have mid prior.
He's going to invade on Krugs instead, or he's going to sit in his bush and wait and see if
he could be cheeky here.
Fanxy going to look to steal away the Krugs here. If this gets spotted out, they could look for.
Yeah, but they don't have prior bot lane here. Like blue team is so fucked here.
HP as well. Oh, we could see a kill here. Oh
my god! How the fuck did that Ash live?
The exhaust comes down with the blue. Thanks. Okay, well.
Oh my.
MDib surviving on 20 HP. The exhaust into the Dark Binding there, coming out absolutely huge from Eternal Aether. Keeping his AD carry alive. Only a 4 CS deficit, but with the first blood assist, that is next to nothing. Bonobo looking for a gank here to Luke Caruana, the parallel convergence into phase dive.
Wait,
Eternal Aether goes down, and the gank really fails. Bonobo might go down here as well. No, Luke Caruana deciding not to dive.
This is pretty bad, considering they got a really nice thing when they got
they didn't need to force the gank there. They really did not need to force the gank there.
Especially considering you had already checked out, cashed out the Giga Int from Hecarim.
Yeah. I mean, and getting the first blood is fine. Going to Morgana, slightly less fine, but at the end of the day, it's a Morgana.
Are they getting Blades bot side?
It looks like they aren't quite going to get one.
Oh no! Oh, that's so nice. They're getting a solo. Did they get solo plate?
They shared it, which is really unfortunate on the side of Brainstorm. Yeah, Brainstorm. That is this team.
Yeah,
Getting
Lucian is
solo
big a
gold
lot.
there onto the Lucian would have been incredible.
Yeah, that would have been really nice. The kill and solo play, that would be huge.
Looking at CS numbers, there's a big CS lead starting to form in the bot lane now. Lucian moving about 15 CS ahead of the
Look
Ashe.
at topside.
Yeah, we look at topside though, and Joey continuing his dominant form in the top lane, moving to a nearly double the CS of Skanksky. First resets coming in across the board. We see Vamp Scepter on Ashe compared to Cutlass on Lucian. Now the power difference there, surely Adam, I don't need to tell you about that. That's a significant difference in power as we see Fancy looking to gank mid here.
Oh, mid lane here.
Spirit Rush from Ari coming out and being stolen by the Silas.
Oh,
And
we can have a return here.
Are we going to see a counter gank from Bonobo?
No. They're calling.
No, and it just ends with a trade in ultimates between the mid laners.
Because the Silas wants a recall here. Yeah, he wants it.
Is MDiv
Ooh,
caught out here?
MDiv should be.
Big
Oh, no.
blinding. Onslaught of Shadows, well flashed. But I think MDiv's still going to go down here. Well, no, maybe now they turn onto Eternal Ether. The slows coming out from Ashe, huge there. And they just escaped with their lives.
Oh my fucking god, Mbappe. Yeah, I mean the flash away from the Hecarim will basically save them. If that hits, he's
The
dead.
flash away from the Onslaught of Shadows here is huge. It probably keeps both of them alive. We see Allegiant zoning away Skanksky from his wave top lane now. The Renekton pick coming in absolutely huge. The Vamp Scepter and Doran's Blade keeping him just so topped up on health, even against this Arcane Comet Malphite who just wants to try and poke him with Qs. They could be looking to set up a gank here with Bonobo as
Hecarim
well.
is recalling fully unaware there, by the way.
As we see Bonobo on the Krugs, he's looking for a gank here. This could be a really
Oh,
good.
he doesn't know. He doesn't know.
This is well a good
you see him
part
here?
of down, but he looks and good flash.
Ooh, super nice flash.
That's
That
one of the
is
most difficult flashes in the game to pull off, and that was a really
Oh,
clutch flash to
really
get out there.
Yep. But the CS lead top is ballooning.
It continues to grow up to 30 CS now. This is going to start to become a problem because it's going to get to a point when Renekton. See, I don't know what Renekton's going to go for first here. It looks like he's going Ravenous Hydra. We see the Dominus coming out from Renekton here. Renekton does still have flash,
Hecarim looking. No, he's calling it off.
and we just see Skanksky walk away.
He gets his red buff. He's fine.
I feel like Joey could have flashed the wall, got onto Skanksy there, and taken a solo kill. But alas, that's not what we see. MDiv chunked massively again.
Yeah, and heals.
The culling down from Luke Caruana, so there's obviously been a bit of a 2v2 fight down here in the bot lane. Brainstorm having the level 6 versus Jesnan solo kills Gucci Mane. 1 versus 1. Fancy in the area but unable to do anything.
Yep.
The devastating charge just to clear out the minion wave because the Silas won't be there to CS it. As we see MDiv just playing full weak side bot lane, as he has been doing for most of the split.
MDiv needs to be fucking careful here.
Those piercing lights are really starting to hurt.
Yeah.
We could see Brainstorm look to potentially turn towards the Cloud Drake here. But we're going to see Joey getting plates in the top lane with that Demolish on the Renekton. Resets coming in across the map, and we don't see Fancy start.
This is so nice, Lucian.
Renekton resetting here. We could see Allegiant look for the Drake here, because Brainstorm will be giving a lot of gold.
He's pathing topside, but the rest of the team has pink wards prepared.
Fancy charge starts the dragon.
Yeah, no, this is the Drake is free because the Echo went on the Krugs.
Yeah,
that's a free Drake.
But it's one Cloud Dragon. They're 10 minutes into the game. It's not worth taking a fight and losing the game.
No, especially if you're completely not in position to take it.
It's a 500 gold difference. At this point, it's really not all that much.
Yep.
It's going to be a very close and tense early game, as we predicted.
And the Hecarim is doing the thing that I've seen a lot of people do nowadays, where you skip the jungle item completely to try and rush the
Triforce. Which, sure, it can work. But we'll see how he executes it going forward in this game.
Oh, what a cunt!
I'm intrigued to see what Yesenen can do in this mid lane, having a 15 CS advantage and a kill, coming back with the Lost Chapter and Sork Shoes, so only the Lost Chapter boots from Gucci Mane. the extra magic pen could lead to a lot of burst potential here from the Ari, and even could look to threaten the Lucian when we get towards team fights and skirmishes. CS lead top lane starting to balloon even further, up to nearly 40 CS now.
Yeah, by the way, look at your second moment right now.
Yeah. As we see Joey roaming down into the river to just secure some vision around the Rift Herald. Rift Herald could be a really big objective here.
Rift Herald would be huge. Yeah.
Could be really big here for either team, really. It could break open the map.
On both sides.
Yeah. I mean, you ideally look to use it towards mid turret.
Huge CS lead as well.
Yeah. This top lane is starting to get out of control.
Yeah.
For the side of Joey does have the dominus. Joey does have the dominus here, but he doesn't use it.
He does not. Is it on cooldown? Like, is it like 2 seconds before cost or something?
I don't spectator button or what? Why does he not press R there? That's just an in. Joey, what are you doing, man?
Yeah, especially after like getting so nice, fucking so far ahead in their late.
That's a gift of
really, Herald would be dangerous here, by the way. If they get this Herald, they can either completely neutralize that top side, or they can use it mid.
That was a really, really, really big mistake.
I wonder what they're gonna go for here.
Skanksy just clearing out the Scuttle Crab. Skanksy going for a reset. He nearly has the completed Sunfire Cape already. It's going to be really oppressive for Joey to deal with, although Joey is nearing the Blade of the Ruin King, which will help him cut through that Malphite's HP.
Work on Renekton is huge.
Oh, Bonobo looking here on Luke Caruana. But meanwhile, we also have a fight in the top lane. Joey looking for the 2v1 onto Fanksy and Skanksy, looking like he's going to make it out. He still has the flash to get over the wall. Malphite can follow here, but chooses not
to. Barca won.
Malphite doesn't choose to follow that for the kill.
Yeah. Wait. Really nice stop.
And the roam from Yesnan.
That is... Oh my god, that was so wise.
And this is the skill checking we talked about in draft. Yeah. This is why Allegiant have been so dominant in this league.
That was actually
around and make so many players like that. The fight top lane, Joey survived. That's all he needed to do. He had the Hecarim there, so they knew they had the numbers advantage bot lane. All Joey needed to do was survive, and he just about managed it. And Allegiant executes so beautifully. That charm onto the Yuumi.
Yeah, that Ori
was threaded. That was perfect.
That was beautiful.
But we see Brainstorm answering here with a Rift Herald in the mid lane. Gucci Mane is going to pick up a few plates here. And while the Ari is 2-1 with a 8 CS lead, and it's not going to equalize that advantage, but it's going to go some of the way here.
Yeah.
And it's going to set them up and really, really chunk out that mid turret just as plates drop. Really good usage of the Rift Herald.
Infernal coming up in 50 seconds.
That's going to be another fight, I reckon. What cooldowns are we missing? There's no Onslaught of Shadows, no Culling, no Spirit Rush, Dominus.
Yeah, the problem for red team now is that their bot side has no sums, both AD and support.
Whereas both bot laners on the side of Allegiant here both have their flashes, and the exhaust is up for Eternal Aether's Morgana.
I'm still like, that was such a beautiful chain of
charm. It's not even, it's the charm. Like the dive, fair enough. They probably got both. They probably got the Lucian anyway. But the charm onto the Yuumi to secure the second kill was absolutely perfect. That gets MDib straight back into the game as well. He's now 1-0-2. He might be 20 CS down, but he's even ahead. He's 300 gold up with the refill pot and dagger on the Lucian here. Allegiant recalling with their bot lane as Joey is ganking another brawl in the top lane. They are really going for it.
Yeah, both know that both junglers are bot side as well.
We see Brainstorm choosing not to recall and instead pressure the Drake. Eternal Aether will scout this out, tanking the Culling. Finding them. He flashed over the Hecarim ult, which was actually kind of nerf. And he manages to survive. Spirit Rush coming out here from Gucci Mane's Silas. nothing really landing of note here. Eternal Ether chunked out massively. Same with Endib. So both teams having to back off from this dragon. But Brainstorm overall
flashed the Hecarim ult really nicely, and then Zonya to try and get the Lucian like ult CC'd, but didn't work out.
It was really good soul shackles into Zonya's.
It was a really nice.
This comp from Brainstorm has so much bulk, especially with the Yuumi. It's so much deceptive bulk with the healing that even if you look like you win a fight, if you give them time and you don't secure kills, people will just sustain up. And we see Brainstorm here looking to pressure the Infernal Dragon. If they can secure this, it really, really pressures Allegiant here to start being able to contest these very quickly. We see Bonobo go in, and the Dragon secured by Fanxi, but the fight ensues. Jesnan going in and being blown up, really. Is Fanxi? Fanxi does drop to the Ignite, 1-for-1. Gucci main versus Endib. Endib should pick this up. The Kingslayer healing, but no. Jesnan, up. 2-for-1.
2-for-1, sure, but you get the Drake. It's not that bad.
But if you bear in mind, is Bonobo gonna die here?
Bonobo doesn't have ult here. Oh wait, no.
Does have ult. If he could ult back onto that, no, he's just gonna take the safe play and leave. And they do get bot turret. That is big for Allegiant. But if we look at the kills from that fight, the kill distribution in there is really, really bad for Brainstorm. The Brainstorm kill went onto the Yuumi.
Yeah, the Yuumi also got the shutdown as well, so it's so bad.
I mean, it propels Yuumi to her healing items quicker, which I guess isn't the end of the world. She's going to be able to sustain the Hecarim a bit longer. Whatever. Big whoop. But the kills for Allegiant here, going onto the Ahri and the Echo, are both massive targets to get gold onto and to start to snowball them through their items. And we see the CS league top lane continuing to grow up to 45 now in favor of Joey, even with the solo kill from Skanksky. Blade of the Ruin King completed now.
I'm really confused why the Hecarim isn't trying to get because the Renekton
lands onto the Gucci main, and that's just a nice little pick there. And there's not really much that Brainstorm can do to protect their mid laner.
I'm really confused why the Hecarim didn't, because the Renekton has been like pushed up multiple times, and there was no attempt to try and like punish him.
I guess they're just nervous about the early dueling power of that Renekton. Like, if you're using your empowered Q, I believe, is it Call the Make? Is the Q Call the Maker? No, I don't know Renekton. I don't play that champion. But with the amount of healing he can get early, yeah, it is Call the Meek. With the amount of healing he gets early from his Call the Meek, it's kind of oppressive in a 2v1 or in a 1v2. Sorry, he can just heal tank for so long.
Lucian having just wave.
The culling here to keep the wave alive for a little bit longer so they can get a little bit more chip onto that mid tower could be important later when it comes to taking down the tower. We have to remember as well, Allegiant do have the Rift Herald here, and one Herald charge should kill that tower now. As we see Bonobo running up the mid lane into this little skirmish, we could see just a straight up Herald drop here secured. But we see the final chapter coming out.
That is a nice ult.
Very nice zoning there from Bonobo's Echo, and everyone. Wait, really? Flash and heal. That's a very heavy investment for next to no benefit, really. This is the kind of mechanical outplay we've been talking about from Allegiant. Like a flash Yuumi ult there, you'd normally imagine that to result in a kill, right? With the setup and the HP bars at the end of that fight, you would have, like, Allegiant have done well there to get out alive. And we see the Herald walking mid here. If Herald can get this charge off, we should see
how is this loud?
Jesnan behind Yuumi and
super
getting on Morgana and Echo. This TP from Joey looks a little bit in, but the Ashe ult onto Fangs, so that is beautiful. Now we see them turn onto Luke Carolina's Lucian. The Ashe slows doing so much. There's no
that ball is dead. Yuumi did as well.
And that might be a triple kill for the Renekton. No, taken by the Ashe, giving the shutdown to Endib here. 2-0-6. Endib is having a really good game. He might not be keeping up too well in CS, being at about a 25-30 deficit. but he's doing the damage in these fights for his team. He is outputting the DPS so that the Ahri and the Echo can both dive forward and chunk people and then finish them off because they've been chipped away at by this Ashe.
Yeah, it's kind of mad if you think about it. Or like they get a kill or two, I think, and then in return they get like 3 or 4 slain on their side, and they still win by then waiting and taking another fight. Like it's so insane. Oh boy, like Allegiant here is.
It's good to see Allegiant, even though they're taking these knocks, they're taking these blows from.
They're always hitting back. They're always
back, and they are hitting back stronger in many places. You see them Rift Herald there, they get the tower, and then they get 3 kills after losing 2 players. The way that this team just seems to always have an answer, to always be able to counter. Oh, the Dark Binding and Charm there, beautiful onto Fanxy. Yesnan's still looking with the Spirit Rush onto Luke Caruana here. The final chapter comes out, but that's just a zoning tool. They don't want this fight. That's an Ocean Dragon for Allegiant, and the stacking for Soul begins.
So far, I will say the Morgana and the Ahri have been playing beautifully.
Eternal Ether, dude. He is, in my opinion, arguably the most underrated player in this league. He is absolutely mental. I think he deserves more than that, honestly.
Yeah.
Out of their 4 wins, I think there's argument for him to have 4 MVPs, Eris. We see Allegiant turn onto the Baron here very early. Fanxy has now respawned and is running straight there, but with the presence of 4 members of Brainstorm, Allegiant decide that Baron is not quite the decision yet. Even with the Blade of the Ruin King on Renekton and Ashe, which does give them a lot of very high DPS towards objectives like the Baron itself.
Super close to Black Cleaver here.
We see the Runar's Hurricane come in here for MDib as well. That's just going to increase his DPS 2-fold.
But here, that's pretty insane, right? Like you back off from the Baron, and not only do you stop taking the Baron, but then also you then get the mid turret. Like
mid turret died to Rift Herald, dude. Mid turret died ages ago.
No. I mean for Red Team. Red Team, the turret Baron take, and also then end up getting tier 1s, which opens the map.
The turret has been low for a while. It's been kind of just standing gold that Brainstorm have been waiting for a good opportunity to collect. I think threatening the Baron there is on Allegiant's side is fine.
This is probably
comes out. This is really good buying time from him, and he gets out alive. Fanxy taking a massive chunk here. The Spirit Rush and the Enchanted Crystal Arrow coming out. Fanxy, that Yuumi healing is so insane.
Such a stupid champion, Yuumi. Yeah. By the way, Eternal Ether, chillest guy in the world. He held his exhaust in that thing.
Yeah, the Soul Shackle. But he does so well there to buy time. He knows exactly how much. It looks like he knows exactly how much damage he can take before popping that Zhonya's. And whilst all of this is going on, look at the pressure that Renekton's building on the bot side. This wave is going to start to stack up, and he's starting to press towards the bot inner turret. Fanxy having to go and respond as we see another topside Yesnan chunked out massively. MDib just free firing here. Ether fishing with a dark binding, and unfortunately it just goes wide as the twin shadows come out to disengage the fight. Oh, we see another route. Recall completely channeled from Skanksy. That was a really big opportunity to look there for Allegiant, but
early that's why Revolution saves this fucking ass there.
Your QSS, I respect the QSS buy. It shows he respects the crowd control on offer here from Allegiant, and whilst it might look kind of int because of you're sinking 1300 gold early into a defensive item, why would you waste your money? It keeps you alive in scenarios like that, and it does so much work for you and for your team in keeping you alive, because if you can keep your fights at a 5v5 on Lucian, you can output so much damage with the double tap passive.
Yeah. So this is starting to get into the later stages of the game. Who do you think is favorite here? Because it's kind of getting to the point where Allegiant is probably going to start to struggle, right?
I don't think
Splash.
Oh, absolutely destroyed there. Skanksky caught out as well. Do they look press further? No. Allegiant should just look to play for this bot in a turret here and then reset. There's 1 minute to Ocean Dragon. I would love to see Allegiant get this turret, reset, set up their vision line around Dragon, and then look to potentially bait Brainstorm into a fight or a death push.
Yeah. Well, like how constant
there's 2 kills.
Tell them that it's like, oh yeah, you know, they're gonna start to struggle. Instantly, the enemy Lucian flashes into them and then just fucking.
This is something Luke Caruana has been doing all game. He's been playing, and fair enough, Lucian's a short range AD carry. You need to make sure you're staying in range. You need to be aggressive. You need to play forward. You need to look for any opportunity to get your shots off. But there's a difference between using your abilities to get your optimum damage off, to dash forward, to kill people, to finish off kills, to pick up that gold. And he seems to be firing on the wrong side of that line in this game. He seems to be just playing a little bit too far over the edge, to be taking the slightly over aggressive plays, and he's getting punished for it perfectly by the way Allegiant are playing. A lot of people would panic when they see Illusion just flash into them, dealing tons of damage with the CS lead and the items that Luke Caruana has.
They are looking for it, you know.
But Brainstorm are reading this. Brainstorm are reading this well. They're like, oh, they want to fight. They got a turret. They reset. We just give this dragon. They don't lose anything by giving this. It's now 2-2 on dragons.
Yeah, hard agree.
I'd rather be Allegiant in this spot having the double ocean over the Cloud Infernal myself, personally. Because the amount of sustain that double ocean dragon will give you is absolutely ridiculous. This is going to be so difficult. If ever there is a team fight that a member of Allegiant manages to escape on low health and gets given 5-10 seconds of just regen, they can then re-enter that fight with a significantly increased amount of health to when they left it and potentially turn fights on their head. Although if either team here can secure the Ocean Soul, that could potentially be game ending. With how extended the fights look like they're going to be for the rest of this game.
And Malphite will definitely have his second item finished, as well as the Lucian probably will have his second.
Yep, it looks like.
Or the Ocean Soul.
So let's have a look down at the items. We have Black Cleaver Blade of the Ruin King for Renekton into Sunfire Cape and what looks to be not an adaptive helm, a Abyssal Mask from Malphite. We see the Proto Belt Runic Echoes and Lichbane coming out of Bonobo's Echo into the Triforce Death Stance of Fanxy's Hecarim. We see double glacial items coming out of Yeznan into the Zonya's Super Soaker from Gucci Mane. And then we have two items on the Ashe compared to 1.5 on the Lucian. Again, the QSS tax being paid, and sacrificing quite a lot of power for this stage in the game, honestly. But as we've already seen, it has saved his life, and I believe it will continue to do so as this game goes on, and supports 2 items apiece. Morgana has her Zonyas, Yuumi has her Ardent Sensor.
Yeah, I wonder if Ash is going to have her third item for the Ocean fight.
I don't believe so. I don't. 3 minutes.
Already
potentially. We do see the Ashe here pick up the Executioner's Calling. The Grievous Wounds with the...
There's no way you take this.
There is a control ward on the back of the pit, so Brainstorm are fully aware of this. With the Executioner's Calling, Brainstormer, and with the Executioner's Calling here on MDib,
ooh, they're getting low.
In a good Redemption coming down there for healing, and the Spooky Ghosts go out. This looks like a free Baron for Banksy. It's a big charm. Yeznan kiting backwards. Is Fanxy going to get Yeznan here? It doesn't actually look like
Never mind.
MDib flashing on Fanxy. Joey kills Luke Caruana. We see the volley coming out, the slows on Fanxy. Fanxy's ridiculously low. Final chat whiffing completely. Gucci Mane flanking round with the absconded duct from the Silas. The not parallel convergence. There's the parallel convergence from Echo, and we see just full-on abandoned ship from Brainstorm as Allegiant look to push forward. Brainstorm could be caught in a flank here. If Joey decides to dive forward, he doesn't pop the Dominus and run forward. That's already on cooldown. Use your eyes, Luke.
Yeah,
we see Allegiant just running up mid lane. Fanxy should just look to loop around here and regroup with his teammate, unless they try to set something up. But no, that's just free mid inner turret here for Allegiant, and they could look to potentially pressure the inhib. 15 seconds on Silas. Lucian is alive, but it's still a 4v5. Hecarim with a really good flank position, but the ghosts spot him out. Malphite ult whiffs. As we see the fight kick off, Fanxy dives forward, but it's taking chunks.
hard.
Skanksky's almost dead, but Joey tanking 3 people in the backline, finishing off Luke Caruana, flashing over the wall and escaping. Bonobo now going in.
They might even look for end here. I don't think they should. I think they should
get
into Drake.
Yeah, agree.
The Luke is dead, so like you could try and force it.
It's only 20 seconds. They don't have a minion wave. They can't.
They're doing the correct play with reset.
They're doing the completely correct play. They're going to reset. They're going to run. They're going to clear the bot side jungle of Brainstorm. They're going to sweep Vision now and drop their own. Then they're going to reset. They're going to run back out. They're going to place all their own wards, and they're going to try another death push. And I feel like Brainstorm just have to give this dragon up. It's now a 5k gold lead in the favor of Allegiant.
Yeah. I wonder if Ash has enough for her item here.
That Renekton lead, 2,500 gold in the lead of the Malphite for the Renekton. We see, what items completions do we see here? We see a BF sword picked up for Ash. Second needlessly large rod here for Ari.
Yeah, he's so close to that third item.
When we see the reset coming out here from Renekton, we could look to see the Death Stance here potentially fully picked up.
If he gets that, oh my god.
He's staying for one more minion wave. I believe he gets it after this minion wave. That's a really, really huge pickup for Joey here on this Renekton. But this does give Brainstorm positioning on the Drake. Bonobo caught out here by Fanxy.
Yeah.
The abduct there by Gucci Mane. Luke Caruana dives over. Blasco and Whips. He gets caught. Oh, he doesn't get caught by the Dark Binding. It's just out of range. Skanksy on the Dragon though. And Allegiant can't see this. Their control ward it out.
Yeah, they should pull it.
It looks like Brainstorm are having to back off a little bit. Eternal Ether leading the charge round from his team, looking to poke out with Dark Binding. Dark Binding connects onto Malphite. Fanxy here looking for...
That's a good ult.
Ended, that is ended. The Rupture comes down and keeps him alive for about half a second longer. We go down. This fight looks really good. If they can burst the dragon, down in this time.
No, the Drake's gone.
They get dragon. Big Malphite ult there. Gucci Mane healing up because Silas is dumb. Echo takes it down. This is a really big fight for Brainstorm here. Eternal Ether is the only three alive.
Oh my god. They got Baron here. Yep, they straight run to Baron.
Brainstorm look at the base. Look at the super minions in their base. This could be one Nexus turret going down, potentially 2 if no one resets map. It looks like Skanky is going to reset.
That's one. Well, actually, one turret might be gone.
One turret is gone.
Boy, that's huge.
One Nexus turret down. This is potentially Baron for Brainstorm though, which will equalize the game pretty much fully. That's only 3k gold before Baron dies. Triple Ocean here for the side of Allegiant puts them on Soul Point in 4 minutes 10 seconds. But Eternal Ether is going to look to poke out here. There's only 3 people. If he can, and he's forced them off. He's forced them off. They don't get the Baron. This is huge.
Actually, didn't have Smite as well.
This is big. With not getting the Baron there and sacrificing the Nexus turret for it is absolutely cataclysmic for Brainstorm.
Yep.
That's so much pressure within their base. With the Baron, they would have at least been able to shove waves, collect some standing gold in the outer turrets from the turrets outside of the Allegiant base. But with that, by losing the Baron, you're just inviting Allegiant to go and set their vision lines up around Baron now, and look to bait the players in from Brainstorm to get picks or death pushes, maybe even start a team fight. And everything here that we predicted pre-game, lovely Black Shield from Eternal Ether there. Denying the
Eternal Ether has been playing so well this game.
He's stepped up. I've been really impressed with Yeznin so far as well.
Yep.
Yeah, he did play the last fight well, but his roams have been good. He's been hitting clutch charms in team fights, and he's been playing really well. Dark Binding there, big chunk onto Fanxy, but the Yuumi does come out, and the Zoomies will heal him up. And this is just going to be a tug of war with Joey pushing bot.
Yeah, but
the tug of war over this Baron is going to continue. Brainstorm need to look to engage a fight here, or reset and burn the TP. They need to either burn the TP or reset here. They can't be caught doing both. It looks like they're resetting with 3 people. They're going to lose an inhibitor before they even get back. And now Allegiant can just turn on the Baron because two or three people recalled.
Yeah.
So yes, Joey might die here.
Yeah, the only thing that Hecarim can do is possibly...
Joey might go down here, but this doesn't matter. They have to go for the steal with Hecarim here.
Yeah.
I don't know why Allegiant aren't committing fully to the Baron. They are afraid.
Yes, they are afraid because of the level lead from the Hecarim. He has a stronger smite.
But with a combo with all the other abilities like the Ari, the Orb of Deception, the Echoes, the Drive Resonance, with all of the abilities that they have on their team, they should be able to combo that to outburst.
Voice. Like in voice, you can just call out when to burn it.
Yeah. But obviously they're not feeling confident enough to do that.
People don't understand when it's like
Dragon now 1:50 away. This would be Soul for Allegiant.
Yeah, that's also something that a lot of people don't understand. Where it's like you might have a level lead as the jungler, so your smite might be stronger, but because of the nature of being in voice, you can tell your team to like stop hitting it at 2k. We hold it now, and then it's just guesswork at that. Like if the other guy steals it, then it's just pure luck.
Sometimes it doesn't even matter, even if you're not in comms with people, you can still use your other abilities, your passive, your Q, whatever ability you want. For example, I'm gonna use Echo as an example here. If you use the Z Drive Resonance, the passive on Echo, when you get that third proc of the Z Drive Resonance, that's either applied by your Qs or your auto attacks, that's a large burst of damage. You could combo that with a smite and deal well over 1,000 damage at this point, which is way more than Fancy's smite would be able to dish out.
Also, now we have 50 seconds on the Drake Soul.
Yep, I'm looking for potential resets here from everyone to refill wards. We see Brainstorm pushing through the jungle here, clearing out some wards and looking to steal away this red buff. Enchanted Crystal Arrow comes out and catches onto Skanksky. Not a massive chunk taken out, but the charm connects as well. That's huge. Forced to get away. That's a really big teamfight cooldown burned.
Yeah.
And yes, okay, it's not on the longest of cooldowns at this point. But Allegiant can look to get full river control here, and
they have it.
I would look to potentially trade this for Baron if I was Brainstorm. Oh, but Joey looks to be caught in the river. No.
Flash anti.
His team are close enough to push Brainstorm away, and Allegiant now have position. Now have positioning on this dragon. Another Dark Binding connects, and the fight kicks off.
Huge engage.
On Skanksky, Bonobo gets blown up. Joey on Fancy. Fancy goes down. Yeah, Skanksky goes down to Endiv. Endiv is free. Endiv is completely untouched. Endiv is free hitting in this fight. Drops to the Cullen. Yesnan and Eternal Ether. What can they do? Eternal Ether with the Soul Shackles. Gucci main, caught by the charm, chunked and goes down. No, the Kingslayer keeps him alive. And that is a 3-for-2 in favour of Brainstorm. Brainstorm looking to potentially go for the dragon here. No jungler on either side, so a steal could be possible. Blast Cone is up, and Allegiant do have full vision of the pit.
I think they're flipping it here.
Yesnan looking to go. Eternal Ether also looking for a potential steal. Q over the wall. Nope, dragon goes over the way of Brainstorm. Both teams on soul point now. Next dragon in 5 minutes. Gold lead sitting at about 2.5k.
Eternal. Allegiant should have completely won that fight. Like your Ash was free hitting everybody.
They dove into a choke point versus Hecker and Yumi. You should never be you don't want to be taking that fight in a choke point. The final chapter. Did he not? He didn't get the chrono break off.
The ult apparently.
Chrono shift. Is it chrono shift? Chrono shift or chrono break? I think it's chrono break actually.
Yeah.
He was stunned. He was rooted up by the final chapter as well in that. I think I saw.
Yeah. This is.
I don't understand why Allegiant are trying to force a fight like that in a choke point when they could just kite backwards into the river, which is a much larger area to play out these high CC ultimates that Brainstorm have on their side. But now we see the Baron dance back in full effect. Joey again running to the bot lane with his teleport, looking to get a bit of a split push going. Will Brainstorm send someone to answer sooner, or will they pull the trigger in time? Will they look for a fight and try and force out that teleport from Joey?
They've not been good to matching the Renekton in the split push. I mean, I think they can't. I don't think anyone can deal with him. The Silas maybe, but I'm not even sure.
They have to send 2 people to deal with Joey.
Yeah. Like, look at the items that Renekton is holding on.
I believe that's a Sterak's gauge that Renekton is building into next.
Yeah,
which is just so much more power in the isolated 1v1 and 1v2.
Yeah, this is huge. That's a huge issue for them. He's also almost flame horizoning the Malphite. And they start the Baron. I don't... Oh, never mind. I thought they did because but they were attacking the ward. Banksy. Okay, good. He's
Banksy
aware.
seems to be out here with the devastating charge. He can just run away at Mac 30.
Plus, he had the Yumi on him as well, so there's
Well, this
nothing.
is interesting. Silas now leaves to run back towards the Baron. Now you see Joey start to move into the lane and start to shove. This guy has been one of the best side lane players I think we've seen. His wave management is really, really good, and his ability to bait multiple people to create favourable setups for his team elsewhere is probably unrivaled from what we've seen. Now Skanksky has had to go and deal with him, but I don't think Skanksky can hold up in that 1v1. The rest of Brainstorm might look to collapse here, and looks like they are. It looks like they're all running down towards bot now. So either Allegiant need to react and send everyone to Baron, which it looks like they're doing, or send everyone bot and try and win a team fight. But it looks like they're going to use Joey to try and stall. Gucci Mane is at Baron, and Luke Caruana is now running there, but I don't think that Brainstorm can do this. Look at Joey, he just lives. He's just not dying. And now Fanksy pops the Ghost, pops the Zoomies, pops the Devastating Charge, and just sprints it straight over to Baron. But this is dead. This is gone. This is Baron for Allegiant. And look at... The arrow might have whiffed, but look at Joey.
The only way...
Joey's on the inhib here. Fanksy goes down. Bonobo also goes down, and as does Eternal Ether. But Yeznan, Mdib, and Joey all still alive. The 3 carries all with Baron buff. The split push is still with Baron buff. This game just swung really, really heavily towards Allegiant.
Yep. Oh, and they even stopped that back. Oh, never mind, they didn't.
Joey gets out. And 3 Baron buffs retained. Gold lead now increasing again in Allegiant's favour, up to just shy of 4k, about 3,500 gold. Not a significant lead at this point in the game, being 42 minutes in. But we could look to be seeing we'll be looking to the soul fight in the 45 seconds. Find the next Ocean Drake. Bonobo spawns in 10, so he will be up before the dragon comes up, but he won't have time to move through with his team and secure vision. So I would have to, but then again, Fanksy is also up at the same time. So I would probably have to give the advantage here to... I would have to give the advantage here to Brainstorm, just purely because of the speed that Hecarim will be able to rejoin his team, compared to Echo.
Lucian just his QSS
Lucian
to
just
get...
recalled.
Yeah,
And
Lucian
QSS.
sell his QSS to make sure he has enough money for Black Cleaver.
Interesting decision. Not sure it's one I agree with, but I'm sure it's one we can find out the rationale behind after the game finishes. That is a potential loss to Boris, but Yeznan really far out of position here. Fanksy doesn't know where he's running, and the Culling comes out and doesn't really connect at all. And now we see the fight erupt. Bonobo actually gets his ult off this time. The Unstoppable Force only onto Mdib. Mdib surviving. Gucci Mane finishes him off. We see Joey in the backline fighting off 3. That's 2 kills now for Brainstorm. Looks like Bonobo is going to go down as well. Yeznan being kited out here by Luke Caruana. Gucci Mane really low. Eternal Ether just trying to zone. But this fight looks like it's going completely in Brainstorm's favour. That's 4 for nothing. Yeznan, can he survive? No, he can't. That's a 5 for 0. Clean ace for Brainstorm here.
That's also so.
But again, look at the base.
Yeah, but they already have now fight resetting, so they're...
And that is going to be the Ocean Soul for Brainstorm. And if we thought these fights were going to be difficult for Allegiant to win before this, they just got a whole lot harder. The amount of sustain that Brainstorm just secured for themselves is actually just ridiculous. That Ocean Soul is going to be providing so much extra HP for the Brainstorm players to work with in these fights.
They're without a minion wave trying to take a turret here.
They can do it because they have Ocean Soul. Gucci Mane just isn't taking damage. Luke Caruana should be able to tank up the rest of this tower. And yeah, there's mid-inner for Brainstorm. Now, Allegiant have to stall till Elder Dragon now to have any hope of winning this game. Baron respawning in about 2 minutes 40. Elder Dragon not for another 5.5. If Allegiant can get the Elder Dragon, game turns completely on its head, because the Ocean Soul healing will still be impactful, but it means that the Brainstorm health bars are just lower because of the 25% deletion clause on Elder.
Yeah. The execution on Elder is so stupid.
We see double Morellos coming out from Allegiant here as well on both Echo and Ari, with the Executioner's Calling still in the inventory of MDib. I'd like to see him turn that into a Mortal Reminder, as it would help him shred through the Malphite's armor, the Hecarim's armor. Gold at this point, people starting to cap out their builds.
Yep.
Gold is dead even as well, which makes this very interesting. We have 4 items on both, 4.5 on both AD carries, 4 on Ari, 4.5 on Silas, 3 on both junglers, 4 on both top laners, and 3 or 4 on both supports. Now this game becomes for Elite. So, how do Allegiant win this game from here, Adam?
Honestly, unless you get a pick, I don't think you do. I don't think you win a straight 5v5 anymore.
So, would you say that Allegiant need to play smartly around Joey's split push and cooldowns of Black Shield and Enchanted Crystal Arrow?
That, or I think legitimately if they want to get an objective, like for example the upcoming Baron or the upcoming Elder, I think they just need Ashe, not Ashe, sorry, the Ari to get some kind of.
If they get the pick on the Silas, never mind. The recall manages to go through.
Yeah.
I don't know
if they
why
don't get a pick on that, like they're not winning any
Oh,
fight.
and the Enchanted Crystal Arrow goes wide. That is unfortunate.
Also 45 seconds on the Baron.
We see Joey beginning to set up a split push in the top lane.
Yeah.
Obviously, the inhib bot side has just respawned here for Brainstorm, so that's going to be a large amount of pressure alleviated for them coming into this Baron.
Yeah. Seems like they're not prioritizing the Baron here that much.
I mean, with how Allegiant have been able to get inside of that red buff side jungle,
yeah, they're getting away with murder.
they've been able to set up a lot of vision and get a lot of information.
Mm-hmm. Mikhail's also finished for the Yumi. Redemption, Mikhail's, and yeah.
But I don't think there is a world where Allegiant should be being allowed to get that vision in the Brainstorm top side.
Especially not in this game state.
No, definitely not.
And there's still wards there that are helping them get information here.
I'm really happy we've been given 2 absolute bangers of games today, Adam.
Yeah.
These games have both been really, really fun to watch and interesting to actually look at.
Mm-hmm. They're also super back and forth, which is usually very, very, very entertaining.
Indeed.
The only thing I will say is that something that I have noticed is Lord Farquaad's vision score has been super unimpressive to me, considering it's an almost 50-minute game.
Eternal Ether is doing so much work with the Vision Phase team. 142 vision score at 50 minutes.
Yeah.
That's three vision score per minute almost at this point, which that's actually mad. What the hell? But at this level, having that high vision score is insane. You see now Allegiant look to be transitioning into bot side. Are they going to try and sneak double inhibs here while Brainstorm potentially look for Baron?
BRB.
What's going on? It looks like all of Allegiant just move into Brainstorm's bot side jungle, and Brainstorm either don't have the wards or just don't notice, and happen to not see the opportunity, and don't bother going for the Baron. So we're back to just a neutral farming state. Baron's still alive. Dragon spawning now in a minute, and Brainstorm look like they're positioning to go for this Baron here. This is going to be interesting to look at the approach to see how Allegiant approach this. Hawkshot coming out, Twin Shadows coming out as well. A chance of Crystal Arrow onto Fanxi, followed up by the Dark Binding. Charm onto Fanxi. He's getting absolutely destroyed here. Gucci Mane takes down MDib. Fanxi drops as well. This fight is going to be so scrappy, so close. Eternal Ether drops. Skanksky goes down as well. Gucci Mane, Joey absolutely tearing through this fight. Luke Caruana and Farquaad still both alive. Yeznin has to try and get something. He gets a stopwatch out of Luke Caruana and manages to make it out. There shouldn't be able to be an opportunity here for Baron for Brainstorm. Yeznin and Joey managing to clutch out the end of that fight just to make sure that the Baron is denied from Brainstorm. The Elder is also denied from Brainstorm, and we go into a lull state waiting for the respawns. MDib respawning first from anyone, but Luke Caruana's running straight to the Dragon here with Farquaad's Yumi by his side. They could just look to rush this. If Yeznin doesn't answer, this could be Elder for Brainstorm here. This could be really, really big. This could potentially be game-ending even. But Yeznin has it. Yeznin feels like he knows it. He pops the Scryer's Bloom and can now see it. Does he go over the wall and look to steal all the fight here? He does. Dragon drops to less than 3k. 2,000 health on Dragon. The Twin Shadows slow. 1,000 on Dragon. Dragon going down for Brainstorm. Cullen coming out and tagging Jensen slightly, but not pushing him quite below the threshold for the execute. This is Elder Dragon now for Brainstorm, and this could be the end of it. This could be a swift end to the game here. Brainstorm could look to just rush Dragon. Everyone respawning. I don't know who got the buffs on the Brainstorm side. It looks like the buff's not on Malphite. The buff is also not. So the buff. So only Lucian and Yuumi. Only Lucian and Yuumi actually getting the Elder Dragon here. So even though it's not ideal that Brainstorm were given the opportunity to secure this dragon, it's still a really, really okay-ish scenario here for Allegiant, with only 2 members securing it. If the Lucian and the Yuumi can be deleted, that's Elder Dragon gone completely, which lowers the potency of the Brainstorm teamfight quite a lot. Brainstorm moving into a slight gold lead here. But as people begin to hit 6 items, gold starts to lose its value. We see 6 items on Lucian, we see 6 items on Renekton, and 6 items on both supports as well. And Brainstorm beginning now to siege up toward this mid lane turret. This could be the final fight of the game here. Unstoppable Force onto Renekton. Parallel convergence into phase dive. Bonobo shredding the backline. Yuumi goes straight away down. That is massive. Luke Caruana picks off Joey. Banksy goes down. Gucci goes down. Skanksky goes down. It's only Luke Caruana alive. Yeznin absolutely smurfing in that teamfight, but the Elder Dragon stays with Luke Caruana. 4 versus 1. This could be the win for Allegiant. Joey and Yeznin and Bonobo going off in that fight, providing MDiv with the space. They're going on Luke Caruana here. Luke Caruana gets Bonobo. GA is popped, and they're going to look to finish him off as he comes up. MDiv taking the kill. That looks to be game here for Allegiant. 27 to 27, 2,000 gold, 1 Nexus turret, 1 cannon minion, 1 caster minion. Is this the end of the game? I believe the respawn timers are long enough. 20 seconds on Yuumi, who's the closest. This is going to be game for Allegiant. Absolutely incredible finish. Brilliant game here from both teams. Wow. What? Yeah, Adam's still on my ear. But what a finish to that. Holy crap. MVPs for that game. Well, I think it has to be Joey. I don't know. The split push pressure he was generating and the backline dive he was getting in fights was absolutely mental. He provided so much zone control and so much global pressure. There's also definitely an argument for Yeznin. He played these late fights really well, kiting in and out, standing on the edge. I'm hesitant to give it to MDib here because he was just bought space to free hit, and if you're going to be given space on an AD carry to free hit, then your team are obviously doing their job really well as you. Eternal Ether played incredibly well as well. Like there are arguments for everyone here on Allegiant to get this. There are even arguments for everyone on Brainstorm. This was an incredible game. I thoroughly enjoyed watching this. But for me, I think the MVP has to go to Joey. For that is not Allegiant first seed, but that is Allegiant locking their spot in playoffs 100%. The 5-way tie dream is now dead. Rest in pieces. But I think I have to give Joey MVP for that game just for the global presence he provided for his team.
Oh, alright. Oh, never mind.
All right, Kunsh.
What's up?
Congrats on that win, dude. That was an absolutely incredible game. Talk for it.
Yeah, it was a very stressful game, not gonna lie, and it was 53 minutes. So
yeah. I mean, it's safe to say you guys aren't winning any tiebreakers on average win time now, huh?
Yeah, I guess so. But I mean, yeah, we're still shocked about how the game ended as well, because it was a sort of straight flip at the end, and
Yeah.
it just ended. But I don't know. We're still in shock, I guess.
Like I was saying on cast, there are definitely arguments for all 5 of you guys to have MVP from that game. You all executed in the crucial moments really, really well. Even though there were a couple of moments of a little bit, but that's going to happen in a 53-minute game. Can you give me any kind of insight into your guys' plan going into draft?
Into draft. Well,
Yeah.
I was pretty much going to lock in Echo, no matter what their picks were, and that was me. And we wanted the Morgana first pick,
Okay.
sort of just because we knew that Talia's probably going to get banned, and Lux might also get banned. And Morgana was just looking like a good pick for us. Obviously, our issue was that they had Fanxy playing, so we didn't really want him on the Graves.
Yeah, of course.
But we weren't worried about
He's very
his.
strong on that before in previous
Yeah,
games.
and we weren't. We knew he was going to pick Hecarim, but we weren't too worried about the Hecarim.
Yep.
And the Echo pick into the Hecarim isn't too bad for me either. It was mostly top lane that was decided at the end, just based on what they picked.
Yeah.
I mean, they did ban out Shen,
And
that's
Mordekaiser in phase 2.
and Mordekaiser. Yeah, we didn't really want to go an AP top though, just because then we'd have a bit too much AP damage anyway.
With Echo, Ari, and Morgana, you don't need any more AP damage.
Yeah, exactly. So we were looking for a bruiser / tank top.
Yeah.
And we just thought Renekton will probably be very good because he's very good at shutting down the Hecarim, shutting down the Lucian. I think our draft is pretty good going into that.
We saw in that final fight, his dive on the backline with yourself. Like, you guys absolutely just sliced through.
I'm
Brainstorm backline. Like, blowing up the Yuumi to start the fight off must have been the most crucial pick you could have gotten.
Definitely, because once she was gone, she couldn't heal any of their carries.
Yeah,
and it was sort of just finish them off from there. I'm still surprised that I got like the 5-man or 4-man.
That was
stun at the end as well.
Might have won that fight on its own. Honestly, that stun was absolutely incredible.
Exactly, and then from that point on, we just sort of just killed them and chased down the Lucian. Like, we knew the game was over from there because it was 70-second death timers. We had 2 open inhibs, so we just chased down the Lucian, and we had the Glacial Ari mid lane, so it was like he wasn't going to run.
It seemed like you guys planned really well around the Hecarim as well, with the Glacial Ari and the Ashe. Obviously, taking slows into Hecarim is really a really good way to counter him because of how he functions. Because obviously the move speed and damage.
Definitely, yeah.
Was that all planned as well, or was that just a happy
it was because, like I said, we weren't too worried about the Hecarim pick, and that's why, like, we had the Glacial Ari, we had the Ashe, we had the Morgana. So it was like he wasn't able to do too much, but I mean, he was ahead of me at most stages in the game, because he did farm a lot better than I did.
Yeah.
But I think there isn't much I can do to counter that myself, because unless I power farm to the same level, I wouldn't have the same pressure that I did throughout the game. But yeah, we weren't too worried about the Hecarim pick. We did bear that in mind before the draft started. And then when we saw the Hecarim get picked, we were just like, oh, right, okay.
And can I ask for a little bit more insight into your comms, specifically when the Elder Dragon goes down in favor of Brainstorm, even though Yeznin tried to steal it? What is going through your mind at that point with only 2 people having the Elder buff?
See, do you know what it was, right? It wasn't even from that point on. It was when we tried to do Baron just before that fight.
Yeah.
Or we were playing around Baron and we lost that fight and stuff like that. We kind of just realized that, like, we're not going to win a team fight realistically. They had Ocean Soul, they have the Hecarim, they have the Yuumi, they have the Fed Lucian, everyone's full items, and we just realized, like, we're not going to win a team fight straight up, considering that they are the ones that engage on us. And they have the engage potential. And what I was trying to tell the team was that we need to get a pick first, or just try and catch them off guard, and then go for the dragon or the Baron. Yeah. But obviously, we couldn't really make that come into effect. We were worried, obviously, that the Lucian got the Elder, but Like it was just the Lucian and the Yumi. I don't think the Hecarim got it. I'm
No,
not
no one,
too
no
sure.
one else got it other than the Lucian and the Yumi.
Yeah. So like from that point on, it was like, okay, yeah, we do need to go for the Lucian. But we should probably try and shut down the Silas and Hecarim at the same time.
Funny that you say you were focusing the Lucian when he was the only one to escape.
Yeah, I know it's
Right
a
under your
bit
inventory.
stupid, but like props to Luke, or he did play pretty well.
Yeah.
He was able to get out of a lot of situations where we tried to catch him. But I mean, at the end of the day, he wasn't able to do much in the sense that we just caught all of them at the same time,
Yeah.
and just straight blew them up. And I mean, I can leak one of our strats. Like at one point, we were literally considering to just straight backdoor.
Yeah.
And just fuck all the objectives and just straight backdoor.
I did think I saw that when you guys were all running into the bot side blue jungle.
Yeah, we were gonna let them just do Baron and just straight up backdoor, but we sort of just went against it and went for a more mainstream strat, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It was just a mess of a game, really. But
with that win, you guys now secure yourselves a spot in playoffs. You cannot finish any lower than 4th. How does that feel?
Perfect, really. We're looking to bring about the same energy in playoffs, and yeah, definitely. It'll be very nice to maybe win season 2, but we'll have to see.
You have now ruined my dream of the miracle 5-way tie. For first place.
Hey, listen, you can still make playoffs and get second and third seeds. Wait, can you?
You're not locked in for first yet. You're just locked into playoffs. I don't think you can finish 4th, but you're guaranteed top 3.
Okay, right. Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
And it's just been a really, really impressive showing from you guys all split. Obviously, you had the one blip on your record against Fortis Omnia.
I mean, there wasn't much we could do against 200 years, but yeah. That was a good game as well, but yeah, that game we just got completely cocked.
Have you got anything special planned for the rematch next weekend?
Not really. We don't really plan our comps and stuff in advance. Maybe like on the day we'll start talking about it and talk about like what we want to play or what we want to do, but it's mostly just us picking champs that we want to play at the time.
Yeah, that's fair enough. If you feel comfortable on something, then yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, who knows? Next week we might just pick completely different champs and just go with it.
Okay. And I had to give the MVP to Joey this game. Unfortunately, I couldn't give it to you. There was a very good argument for giving it to anyone.
I would personally say it might be the Ari or Ash, to be honest, just because they played pretty decent around team fights.
They were both definitely considered. I did have to think about it, but for me, the amount of pressure Joey created for you guys in the side lanes around the big
definitely.
And the amount of threat and zone control he was providing for Ash in team fights by just getting on top of the backline. There were points I think where he was going 1 versus 4, while the rest of you guys.
I mean, that's why we put him on Renekton, and we sort of changed it up at the end. Like we tried to lay off the split pushing.
Yeah,
because we just realized that we lose the 4v5 just straight up. So just keep us there and protect the Ash. And yeah, he went through with that and played really well. So either way, like he still got MVP. So
yeah, and I mean, like I said, all of you guys play really well. And you should all definitely be really, really happy with that performance. I don't want to say another convincing win because that game was very, very back and forth.
It was a 53-minute game, so
that's very back and forth from you guys.
Yeah, definitely.
But a win's a win nonetheless. It's another one on the win-loss record, and it guarantees you guys playoffs. Congratulations again on the win. Thank you, and thank you for the interview.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you everyone for watching this week. We hope you enjoyed all of the games. We've got 2 very spicy games again today, and we'll be back next weekend for the final week of the season, starting off with Allegiant versus Blossom 5. See you then.